Hi, everyone. I want to talk about the topic, the reins are tightening. Here's what it means for humanity. So, I wanted to do video on the recent events in the last couple of weeks here in, our most beautiful country. It's been a tough few weeks and particularly a incredibly unsettling day on Wednesday, the 10th. There are multiple things that happened in one day. And this, of course, coupled with ongoing violence overseas, of course. So, when things like this happen, yeah, it means that the reins are tightening on humanity. And I wanted to remind everyone in a time when we need to remember when the reins tighten energetically with tragic events that happen close together, like a domino effect, it's purposeful. And of course, we know that anytime tragic events happen, it's always purposeful. It's there to illuminate something for us to see. But when it happens closely together and all at once, it's meant to capture our attention. So the closer together, the stronger the impact. And I'm sure you are feeling that just as I am. When things happen farther apart, it's easier for us to settle back into kind of automatic pilot mode and we get comfortable again. But what's happening now is not allowing us to settle back in, and rightly so, but to pay attention. It doesn't matter how far or how near events happen to us. So if there's harm to humans in any way, near or far, we are going to feel it. We are energetic beings first, and that energy carries, and we will feel it. Even when we think that we're carrying on with our lives unaffected because something has happened in another country or another state, we feel it and we are affected. And that is very purposeful too. And so when things like this happen, it's devastating. It feels horrible. But there are reasons why these types of situation can support us, are here to support us in our own evolution of consciousness. It reminds us of our humanity. It amplifies feelings of oneness. Now, oneness is something that's talked about. We've all heard, we are all one, we are all connected. But for most, it remains merely a concept because it's difficult for us to feel that oneness in our being. But because of where humanity is and the types of events that are happening, that separation is dissolving more and more, as it's meant to, as it's meant to. We're not able to live in our own silos as we once were. The veils of separation are dissolving. And we are feeling this greatly. So the veils of separation that keeps each one of us in our world separated or feeling like we are separated, those veils are dissolving. Veils with spirit are dissolving as more and more people awaken. Um, but that separation dissolving, that alone brings us together. The feeling, we're feeling this greatly, and it brings us together. It unites us. What's been happening in our world, in our country, and the fact that we can all feel this, and people on the other side of the world are feeling it just as we are with, some of the wars that are going on abroad. It unites us and it makes the concept of oneness real. So the more that we feel that oneness, the more aware each of us become with how our choices and how we choose to live our life affects everyone else. So, all of this is heightening our senses of awareness. It's calling our attention to the questions: who am I? What do I want my life to look like? What do I want this world to look like? How do I want the world to be? And what is my contribution to the world I want to live in? How can I contribute best? What type of person do I want to be? How do I want to show up in the world and for other people? How do I want to make other people feel in my presence? So, in oneness, the more we start to feel that oneness, the more the separation dissolves. It heightens our awareness and our consciousness. And any time that happens, we become more responsible. We hold greater levels of responsibilities. If the choices I make affect the next person, and the choices you make affect the next person, we're going to be more conscious of what those choices are, the choices that we make. When we elevate in consciousness, there's a greater sense of responsibility because we hold an awareness that wasn't there before, and we become accountable. We become accountable. That's what these experiences, these tragedies are bringing to our attention. Imagine a world where everyone was asking themselves these questions. What would our world look like if everybody was responsible and accountable for how they showed up in the world and for those around them, and for asking the question, how do I want other people to feel in my presence? Our world would look very differently. If we are all connected, that means each of us matters. It starts with you, it starts with me. And so we can start by taking the lead. If you ask yourself these questions and you start to live your life by the answers to these questions that you come up with from your truth, you will positively affect those around you. Your life will change. And that energy through your thoughts and intentions carries through the world and the universe. Because we're not only connected here on this earth, but we are connected to the whole universe. What we do here on earth affects the rest of the universe. What we do in our own lives affects the rest of the world. So ask yourself, as you ask yourself these questions, close your eyes. Let's do this now. Close your eyes. Move your attention down into your heart and stay there for a few moments until a sense of peace comes over you. Then you know that that connection has been made. Kind of feels like maybe a click, and that connection has been made. And so staying in your heart, you can even place your hand on your heart to keep your focus there, your awareness there. Staying in your heart, ask the questions. Ask your heart, show me the truth of who I am. Who am I? What does the world I want to live in look like and feel like? Who do I have to become or to model to be the world that I want to live in? Who do I have to model and become so that the world I want to live in, reflects that back to me? How can I contribute best to the world I want to live in? How do I want to show up in the world and for other people? How do I want to make other people feel in my presence? And when you're ready, open your eyes. You can even write down the answers as they come to you. Pause as I ask the question. But you might be surprised what comes through, what the wisdom of your heart will show you, which is the truth of who you are. And so, you know what the best part of this will be is your life will change and you will positively affect those around you, all of humanity and the whole world. You will feel like there's something I can do, even when it feels like what's happening is bigger than you. You will be reminded of your part in creation. So I hope this supports you in some way. I hope this gets you to think beyond some of the tragedies that have happened or make those experiences useful for you in your own life and for the world. Bye for now.